Okay, this EMF message is precise and very personal. So there should be no questions when I am done giving this message, if it is for you or not. If you're interested in how to do the EMF reader, you can definitely download an app onto your phone. It will take a couple weeks for you to get personal with the EMF reader. Of course, in the beginning, it's just going to spout off words to you until it is able to alert the spirits around you that this is a device you are using and that you are open to the messages. And of course, let your spirit team know that you are open to these messages and you would like them to communicate with you through this device. Now, when it gives you the words, you will go on ahead and look up the definitions to these words and you will write them out as if you're writing a regular story. So line after line, just keep continuing and it will build a message. Today, the message is as follows. To conceal from view a person who is fully grown is expected to meet the expectations or desires or needs of someone, but is also a person who leads or directs others who are on a journey. They are someone who shows the way. So this is obviously someone who is in high ranking in the spiritual realm. Someone who is trying to defeat this person using violence or an act of force. Someone responded to a question they asked that gave them a feeling of reassurance, releasing them from anxiety and distress. So to me, that sounds like somebody went around town asking for a certain type of person to complete a certain act, and the response they got not only let them know that they can do this, but it was a reassuring one. This person's guardian is going to appear to help guide this person to go in front of a person or group of people to show the way and, of course, in course of direction. So, this could be taken as an actual guardian, like someone appointed of the courts, or if we're talking spiritually, this would be your spiritual guardian that is assigned to you that is going to help you on this newfound journey of yours. It says, yesterday the conclusion was met after consideration to physically injure or damage this person. So the people who are after this spiritual person obviously met in a group and decided that they're going to continue to move forward with this. It says, having made a firm decision and voted not to change it due to the determination of this person, a council member who was also the second king of Israel, named David, gave permission for this person's guardian to now lead and show them the way and advise them. So you could say the spiritual council has been watching you for a while and agreed to go on ahead and allow you to take on this newfound position. If we are talking about like guardian with courts, you can say that a guardian may have reached out to someone that they knew named David to complete something that they've asked to be done. It says, this person endured cruel and violent treatment by someone who used things to do a bad effect and for a bad purpose. This person is now in a state of physical ease and sense of freedom from pain and constraint. They have learned to console themselves when distressed. This sounds like someone who has been abused. Those who take a knee is coming to an end and this person knows this to be true. So take a knee. This spiritually, we could be talking about that people who believe in God are no longer going to be believers because of the overwhelming amount of negativity, demons, devils, entities, whatever. Now, if we're talking court and guardian, that aspect, take a knee. This would be somebody who receives a spanking for discipline. Then it says this person is being given this special access and protection because they chose to enter a state of mind that allowed them to look at this from a point of view to benefit them more than hurt them. Now, this could be spiritually that this person is being rewarded this position because they did not let the trauma negatively affect them. Instead, they decided to stay positive and keep moving for the betterment of humanity, so use it to help others. If we're talking about guardian with the court, this is a child that was coerced, okay, to go along with something. And the exchange was they would not be getting in any more trouble. No more spankings, whoopings, whatever the punishment was. This child was going to now have free reign of what they wanted to do because they went along with what they were asked to say. This says your guides have been keeping this person out of sight and concealed from the typical path that was laid out for others, because there's a race to find this person and people are searching trails for movement. So if we're talking spiritually, this would be because this person was given this job. Obviously, the darker side is going to want to come for this person. And so you have dark spirits, entities, demons, devils, and people who will be hitting the pavement and trails searching this person out. If we're talking about courts and guardian, we have somebody who is hiding a child from the other person so that they can't get that child in their care or possession to find out what it is this child was coerced to do. There is a detailed examination of the elements or structure, something that someone is viewing to find the answers to in order to find something on this person. So, okay, we have somebody who is digging, right? They're digging to find reasons as to why this person should not be the parent or should not be on their spiritual journey and given this this new position, right? This says, on the road, there will be a serious disagreement and struggle between opposing forces. So this could be two people in a car that are arguing, opposing forces. You could have good and evil in a vehicle that are in a disagreement. The opinion people have about someone or something that reflects on the worth, importance, or usefulness of something. A vehicle and the feeling of disappointment about something that has happened. A name of a person is being kept from being seen. The person is not trying or is trying to conceal their identity, but a scent or odor was noticed. It says possibly the smell of a joint, so marijuana. The grandmother of someone hit a person with a vehicle and decided to move the body off the road and out of sight. This grandmother messed her knee up that is taking time to recover from. This grandmother expects to get away with this unlawful killing of someone. The vehicle this grandmother was driving proves this hit of a person to be true. So a grandmother is involved in either this person's spiritual journey and trying to stop it, or this guardianship of a child. This grandmother now has a feeling of being afraid that something bad may happen. This person now shows a lack of strength in certain parts of their body from the accident that they have to focus effort on in order to move around. They have kept this vehicle out of sight since the accident, so they don't have to give reasons if asked what happened. This is the reason of the sudden weight or overweight gain of this person. So this grandmother has randomly appeared to be overweight out of nowhere, and reason being is because their knee was messed up and they had to sit down for a minute. But they're not going to say that because they don't want people to know that they did this hit and run. This grandmother has refused to help or to have professionals look at their leg, afraid someone will find out. So she used her willpower or determination to get back to health. To look at someone's emotional state when celebrating something joyful, honoring someone, but rules enforced by the government are causing someone pain on this day. So there's a no contact here. This person being honored shares a story and a hopeful imagined story. So they're reminiscing about something that really did happen, and then they're sharing a story that they would like to happen. A song was played that was very meaningful and necessary, brought happiness to them, and expression seen by the mouth. A student who is learning not to take something as true without proof feels the absence of someone. So this is again a student, a child, and I'm going to say the absence of the parent, right? And they're starting to now feel it. So maybe the coercion is wearing off, and they're starting to come to now. A trained professional who treats mental illness helps bring a memory back to their mind. This damaged them completely in order to change them from happy back to angry. So here we have somebody conducting this therapy who keeps bringing up this event, possibly because a authority figure, a guardian, is bringing things up to this therapist prior to visits, and it's keeping this kid in a mental state that they can't get past, right? It says information regarding skills gained grasp the concept that facts or information have been altered and do not support the truth. So this could be taken as the therapy session. Some information came out maybe after the happiness of the celebration of a birthday, and the therapist is like, hey, what's going on? Why is this kid all of a sudden happy? And this kid is talking, okay? And therapist is like, whoa, why do you miss your parent if your parent was bad? So now there's questions. They have to investigate that. You don't just switch up like that. Someone believed to be involved in wrongdoing, suffering from an illness, exchanged goods for service, shows that there's something difficult that needs to be solved. So we have a third party here who has a mental illness and is possibly starting to leak information out. Something is strange or unusual. Now how can someone return to normal after illness or trouble? So therapists are probably noticing that this child is returning to a normal state, not really showing signs of what would really be real trauma, or this person, this third party that has a mental illness, is being under the care of a therapist and is showing signs that they're not really mentally ill, and that could all go back to being paid for services, right? They were told to capture someone and possess them. Someone who is against them or was hostile to them has 7 days to tell the truth, or they need to prepare for expected time to come to an end. So this third party has had a visit by a spiritual being and was told a time frame to come clean. If they don't, they'll most likely either be tortured until they kill themselves, or maybe God will just take them out himself. But something is not going to be very good for this person after 7 days. Says the grandmother presented a ring to this hostile person, saying she wanted to join or link with them, and told them about real events she described so they could imagine them. So that sounds like somebody lied. Somebody became a partner with somebody and an agreement was made, right? A wedding that is going to be happening in just a few weeks. So that's just random tidbit out of nowhere, because it really has nothing to do with the rest of this. It says the music, so if you go back to earlier in this message, it says that at the birthday celebration they were playing music, okay? So now it's saying the music written is expressed with happiness. Two people join together and move side to side and around and around. This music addresses the anniversary of someone's birth. So I'm going to say something was written for the person celebrating, okay? The grandmother had to allow a structure that supports a picture of the one who wrote the music. The two who continue to play the music have shown positive behavior, a happiness, and a new strength and power to move forward. A family member sees this and is unhappy. So the grandmother is unhappy that this music written by whoever is starting to bring this child back to their center, okay, their core, and having memories of what their life really was, not the coercion part that they are being told to remember, false memories. A man is learning the process law enforcement makes, and there is still time to keep someone safe. So again, 7 days. This man has to come clean with this arrangement in 7 days in order to save the person I would assume the arrangement was about. The organization, known for helping those in need, plans to appear as though they have changed from one condition to another, but watch out for the gun. So there could be some type of agreement or contact stating that they want to meet up, and it's giving you an impression that it's going to be something maybe positive, but it's a trick. Okay, it's a plot that is been planned and is in the works of becoming active on you. So you need to be aware of the vehicles around you, since this grandmother had no problem doing a hit and run and leaving a person that is obviously dead on the side of the road unseen. Don't know when this happened. Meaning she may have no problem doing a hit and run on you. Also be aware that there could be somebody who is going to be the shooter that will be off to the side wherever you're going to meet. I really highly doubt the grandmother is going to be the one to get their hands dirty. So just be aware of that. Considering your location where you're at now is concealed to keep you hidden, I would just not entertain this. Keep doing what you're doing. Eventually, it's all going to trickle out. It's a slow process. You're frustrated, probably. It's a very emotional process. Sometimes you could probably feel like you're backpedaling, but this message should be some type of clarity to you that there is actually some progress, that you are in the right direction, and you need to stay concealed. Okay? Have a great day.